Greetings, folks. Today is Friday, January 11th, 2019. My name is Tom Lineweaver, and this is my commentary. And what am I going to talk about today? Well, there's a clue. The 10th Amendment. Shall we read it together? The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. That's pretty simple, isn't it? The powers not delegated to the United States. Now, why does it say United States and not Congress? What the 10th Amendment is about are those powers that the states need to do in a union, like the Revolutionary War. That's why the Union of the States was founded, to fight the Revolutionary War. Don't believe me? Look it up. Anyway, so the powers not delegated to the United States or to the Union of the States by the Constitution. Now that means that there are powers delegated to the United States by the Constitution. Okay, this is talking about powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution. And that doesn't seem to matter. That little word not doesn't seem to matter to anyone. There are powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution. Now, what should happen to those powers? The next phrase is, nor prohibited by it to the states. Yes, there are powers that are not delegated to the United States. There are powers not that are prohibited by it to the states. But it simply means that the Constitution says states may not do this. Okay, so the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Powers not delegated. Let's see. Can you think of any? Can you think of any powers not delegated to the United States? Well, what about education? Is that a power delegated by the Constitution to the United States? I mean, is it something that the states must do in a union? Why? Anyway, now, is it prohibited by the Constitution to the states to do education? I haven't found that. There's very few things that are prohibited by the Constitution to the states, like using paper money, for example. That's prohibited. Okay. Now, these powers that are not delegated or given to the United States by the Constitution and not prohibited by it to the states are what? Reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. And that's an important part, or to the people. Think about that. Can you go to the Constitution and find anything prohibited to the people? There are things that are prohibited by the Constitution to the states. Is there anything in the Constitution prohibited by it to the people? Is there? I can't find anything. So the people are pretty much in control. And we've got to get that point through to the people of this country. The people can do anything they want. Let's see. Can the people form an army? Is there something in the Constitution that says they can't? The people can form an army. Can the people own a tank? There is nothing in the Constitution that says they can't. Can the people do education? Yes. Yes, they can. Now, question. Can the people do banking? In other words, can the people do their own reserve system? Yes, they can. There's nothing in the Constitution that says they cannot. The states cannot. They can't make money, but the people can. Now, of course, they have to make it legalized. They can't just make counterfeit. But let's say the people of the state of Pennsylvania decides to have their own banking system in Pennsylvania. Can they do that? Yes, they can. Can they have their own reserve? Yes, they can. You see, the people can do anything. Got that? So why don't we, the people, come together and do things on our own? We don't need a government to do things for us. We can do things on our own. The only reason we need a government is to do things that we cannot do. That's the only reason we need a government. We don't need a government to educate our children because we can do that ourselves. Well, some of us can. So, we have a 10th Amendment that tells us that there are powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution. And those powers not delegated are reserved to the states and to the people. So whatever power that the United States does not have, well, I mean, they have stolen a lot of power from the states. They've stolen a lot of power from the people. I think we need to take it back. We need to take back our power. You got people that just decided. You got people in Congress that decided, well, we're going to make you slaves. Why don't we turn it around? Let's make them our slaves. Anyway, okay. So that's about the 10th Amendment. And is there any? Let's see. Did I skip anything here? We talked about the powers not delegated. We talked about the prohibited. Yeah, I think we covered all the bases here. Did we not? Didn't we? So I think. Oh my! Did that say 9 minutes? Wow. Okay. So I think we covered all the bases regarding the 10th Amendment. Okay, so that's my commentary for today. Thank you for listening.